Mutants exist. And as shocking as it may sound, there could be one in your neighborhood right now. These people were born with genetic mutations or developed them later in life. And there's nothing ordinary about these conditions. While some have managed to lead almost normal lives, others didn't make it that far. From a young man with a tail longer than anything you've ever seen before, to an old woman with a horn, here are 10 unbelievable people with mutations. Before we dive into this list, make sure to leave a like on this video. Also, if you would like to join this month's Star 5 giveaway of a brand new iPhone 14, then all you have to do is subscribe to our channel and watch this video until the end to find and comment the hidden message. Good luck! At number 10, Jose Mestre. Jose is a Portuguese national who became famous for having an extraordinarily large tumor that partially covered his face. His health record shows that the tumor started growing on his lips when he was just 14. However, he would have had a better chance if he had undergone early treatment. Unfortunately, he didn't. The situation began to worsen due to a lack of medical care, coupled with several misdiagnoses, religious beliefs, and a lack of funds. Since the tumor was not treated at the early stages, it began to grow so big that it covered a significant part of his face, turning him into a one-eyed man. He also had difficulties breathing and communicating verbally because his nostril and mouth were covered by the tumor. However, luck shined on Jose Mestre when his story became the focus of a documentary titled The Man with No Face. The documentary attracted global attention towards his plight, and shortly after, he was contacted by a Good Samaritan surgeon who was kind enough to help him out. At number 9, Shiloh Pepin. Shiloh Pepin was born with an unnatural condition known as sirenomelia. This condition left Shiloh Pepin with her two legs fused together. Since her legs could not function apart, she had to endure public mockery from her peers within her community, who were referring to her as the Mermaid Girl. Unfortunately, Shiloh Pepin couldn't undergo surgery because doing so would mean breaking her blood vessels into multiple portions. So rather than fix the issue, surgery would make it more complicated. Aside from suffering from mobility issues due to her conjoined legs, Shiloh Pepin had to live with a single, partially working kidney and no genital organ. With too many complications, doctors had predicted that Shiloh would only last a few days after birth because of her unusual mutations. But, surprisingly, she was able to live until her 10th birthday before succumbing to her body defects. At number 8, Joseph Merrick. Joseph Merrick doesn't look like a regular human. Perhaps this was why he could easily pass the audition to play a key role in the freak movie called The Elephant Man. However, he wasn't born with this deformity and was like every normal kid until his 4th birthday. This is when his life took a drastic turn. This was when he began to develop strange symptoms that launched him into the world of deformity. According to scientific research, Joseph suffered from a rare disorder known as Proteus syndrome. Some of the manifestations of this rare genetic mutation are that the victim will suddenly start developing strange lumps and skin bubbles. By the time Joseph clocked 11 years old, his mother, who had been shouldering the bulk of his health challenges, passed away, leaving him with his father, who later remarried. His stepmother wasn't ready to help out, and that left him abandoned by his family. Joseph's deformity became worse, and he had difficulty sleeping due to his huge head size. Eventually, Joseph died when he was 27 years old, and his autopsy report revealed that the Elephant Man's cause of death could be traced to his attempt to sleep like normal humans. At number 7, Chandra Oram. It is not rare to see animals have tails, as they use this for communication and to express emotions. However, it's definitely uncommon to see humans with tails. However, it appears that this biological process is not applicable to Chandra Oram, who is believed to have grown a human tail as long as 33 centimeters. And strangely, he seemed to like it. What's amusing about Chandra Oram is that he also became a deity of some sort in his hometown in India, with many locals looking to touch his tail while hoping for some spiritual favor. However, despite being a revered deity in his own neighborhood, Chandra Oram found it nearly impossible to get a wife. Sadly, more than 15 women had already turned him down due to his unconventional body structure, but he's still keeping his hopes high as he believes one day he will find a woman that will accept him for who he is. At number 6, Didi Kaswara. Didi Kaswara is an Indonesian carpenter living with a condition known as epidermodysplasia vericiformis. This rare genetic mutation attacks the body system by enhancing the body to grow tree-like bark on both hands and feet. After Didi's condition became public knowledge, most people within his community started calling him the Tree Man because his skin looked exactly like tree bark. Worse still, not only was he excommunicated from the larger of society, a large percentage of the locals believed he had brought a taboo to the community. By the time he was 37 years old, the condition had worsened to the point that he couldn't perform many basic things any longer, prompting him to pursue a surgical procedure to get rid of the tree-like skin. After going under the knife 9 times, he was able to successfully remove over 95% of the warts from his body. He had barely returned to his normal life when, out of nowhere, warts began to grow again on his skin. He died when he was 44 years old due to a series of health difficulties doctors believe to be related to his health condition. At number 5, Wang Fang. Wang Fang was born with her feet facing backwards, and doctors had predicted that she might not be able to walk or have a normal life. However, a look at Wang Fang's lifestyle suggests that the doctors were wrong. Despite the condition of her feet, Wang Fang walks conveniently and majestically like every other person. If you didn't look down at her feet, you might not have a clue that both feet are facing backwards. In one of the interviews she granted in recent times, she told the reporter that she feels okay with her condition and she doesn't need any extra support to move around town. Having defied all the odds stacked against her, Wang Fang, who works as a waitress in China, has even claimed that she sometimes beats her colleagues during races. At number 4, Tress Johnson. Tress Johnson was born with a genetic mutation medically known as craniofacial duplication. Those born with this rare condition usually have a double face on one head. On realizing his condition after delivery, his parents were informed by the medical staff that the baby had no chance of survival because of the severity of his health condition. The young Trey's life was hanging on in a balance, but his parents were also up to the task, and they gave everything at their disposal to ensure their son was given a chance to live. However, keeping him alive came at a high cost. Tress went through several surgeries to remodify his skull, as well as adjust his cleft. With seizures up to 400 times a day, he stood little chance of defying doctors' predictions. However, with his strong will, support from his parents, and the introduction of cannabis oil to his medication, his seizure level has been on a downward trend to around 40 per day. In 2022, Tress Johnson celebrated his 18th birthday. Happy birthday, Tress! And there is no doubt that he defied all the odds and predictions against him to live this long. At number 3, Nadia Lauricella. Nadia Lauricella was born with an abnormal condition that can only be found in 3 out of 1 million people globally. This rare genetic mutation, known as phocomelia, was the reason why Lauricella was born with no arms and poorly formed legs. Some scientists believe that a child can inherit this condition from the mother during the pregnancy stage through exposure to poor drug usage. However, this hypothesis is arguable, and the fact remains that the medical experts are yet to discover a solution to this extremely rare condition. Despite living with this unusual condition, Nadia Lauricella's approach to life has been positive, and she's living her life to the fullest. She has an Instagram handle with a massive following where she keeps her fans entertained. Nadia Lauricella had a terrible experience as an adolescent. However, as an adult, the social media influencer seems to have found a way to love herself while also accepting her personality. At number 2, Kelly Fido White. Imagine having to stay away from everyone because you emit an unpleasant odor from your body. Unthinkable, right? 41-year-old Kelly Fido White is unfortunately forced to visit the bathroom 4 times a day and is often pushed to empty a whole bottle of deodorant to cover her body odor. While many people find staying close to her an unpleasant omen, she doesn't even know she passes an offensive smell. Doctors believe that Kelly Fido White's body odor is caused by a syndrome known as trimethylaminuria, also known as a fish odor disorder. Despite her pitiable condition, Kelly Fido White's career as a radiographer has continued to thrive. She permanently works night shifts to reduce her chance of making people uncomfortable during the day. And at number 1, Liang Zhujian. Liang Zhujian's condition is one of the most shocking cases of genetic mutation ever recorded in human history. The 94-year-old Chinese woman wasn't born with a horn on her head. In an interview with the outlet, her son said the whole thing started as a little mole when she was already in her 80s, and a few years down the line, it had grown into a full-grown horn. It all started as an itch, prompting her to use local herbal medicines on the spot. But by 2015, the horn had grown up to 13 centimeters long. While there are surgical procedures that can permanently take care of the situation, doctors fear that taking her under the knife may be too risky because of her age status. And that wraps up today's video. Which mutation do you think is the most shocking? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and give us a like. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video from Star 5. Thanks for watching.